Hi, everybody. This is Ashley Boyd again, and this is Zoe Henderson. Zoe, can you please tell me who you are and what you do so the audience knows, because I am super excited to have you on.
Brilliant. Thank you, darling. Yes, super. Yeah, my name's Zoe Henderson, as you said. And what do I do? Well, I'm an intuitive healer uh, for humans and for any animal, horses, fish, reptiles, anything you like. It's all in the healing. We can do the healing for all animals. I was brought up in Scotland. I have an identical twin, and our father was in general practice, so he had his own practice in Scotland, and he absolutely adored animals. So every time he was on a visit, going down the countryside in the car, and there was an animal that was hidden on the ground, like a sheep or a bird, he would stop the car and pick the animal up and bring it into the boot of the car or the back seat, and we would take it home and heal it. And if, for instance, it was a cut that had to be stitched, he would stitch up the animal, and I would hold the animal or the bird, or my sister would, while he was stitching. Or if it had a leg that was broken that had to be splintered, I would hold, and my sister would do the same, hold the animal while he was splinting it. And then at the top of the house, we had a huge house, and at the top of the house, there was a room that covered the whole size of the house. So that was sort of used for the animal hospital. And we had about, in all, each time we had about 30 animals. And it was including dogs. We had 18 dogs. Not all of them were rescue ones, because Mummy used to breed them and she couldn't give them away. So we had lots of those, and she showed them. These were chihuahuas. And then we'd have cats. We had our own horses, and that's where I learned to ride, of course, with our horses. But they're my favourite. I shouldn't say it, but they are my favourite. I have a passion about horses, and I'm a horse whisperer as well. But anyway, so we started with all these animals, and we healed them. And the birds, we used to teach to fly again, take them out when the wings were mended, and they would fly off. So it was a great, it was like Dr. Dolittle. He was like Dr. Dolittle. It was amazing. And we had talking to the animals, and he was just fantastic. So we were about 4 years old when we started working with the animals. It was au natural. And also, being identical twins, we could speak to each other without speaking. We could telepathically find out what we were saying, and questions and answers, even if we were in different places and then eventually different countries. We're still the same. We know exactly how we are, and if we have an accident, we give each other's pain, and so on. So it was an extraordinary childhood, and this is how I started, by healing animals, and then progression into humans later on in my life. I was doing humans, but it's au natural, and yeah.
I was going to say, is it almost the same type of feelings that you get when you're doing animals and humans? Or do you have to decipher in a different way?
It's exactly the same, except animals accept straight away. They're much easier. They're much easier to heal, because they know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You have, with the horses, for instance, I'll go up to the horses, and I know they know, and they know I know. Mm-hmm. And I can go into their heads, and they'll tell me what's wrong or what's hurting or a trauma that they've had that I can help them with. Whereas humans will try and hide a lot of the stuff. They won't bring out all the problems.
Right.
Always with the feelings, or they don't want to say everything, or they want to keep a bit behind because they feel embarrassed about it, whatever. So there can be barriers, but it doesn't matter. I can still get through.
Right.
But with animals, they're just open. They're there, and they want to be healed. They know what you're doing, and they want to grab it and have it all, and they get healed very quickly. So that's the way the animals are. Yeah.
I find that, I mean, it's totally makes sense because all animals are just, they're so loving and they have just such a good heart.
Yes,
They don't have, if they have a fear, it's something that has been experienced for them. I feel like
yeah,
my German Shepherd, he's pretty timid because when he was 4 months old, he was swimming at a dog park and another dog drowned him. And so ever since then, he's been very, very skittish. He's a
yeah,
Montessori. And so I feel like every animal obviously has their own story, but I feel like they're still so open to help. Like they just
yeah,
want to give love, and
yeah,
that's their language.
exactly. But also, animals are healers.
Hmm.
Every animal, they're all healers. And for instance, if you have a cat and say you've got a sore shoulder, that cat will try and sit on your shoulder to heal it. Or if you have, you're very emotional and the healing, it's your emotions that need to be healed, the cat will actually sit around your solar plexus or try and the dog also will nudge into your solar plexus. And you think, well, what's he doing now? He doesn't often do that. And then you think, well, wait a minute, I really am emotional. Something's really upsetting me. And the animal will go to that part. They always do. It's
That's,
automatic.
yeah, it's like I was just gonna say, it makes sense. It's automatic because when
Yeah,
I had surgery, my other dog, May, she went automatically to right to the knee that was injured.
yeah,
And she laid on it. And she's not a cuddler. She's a husky. She's
yeah, yeah,
independent and on her own. So that totally makes sense.
yes, yeah.
That's crazy.
And with a lot of humans that have empathy for people that are hurt or sick, can tune in to it's the same thing with humans that can tune in. You can tune in and think, okay, there's something here that's hurting, and then you have a sense that it's the head, the emotions, an arm, or whatever it is.
That
And that's what I do.
that's just it's so cool because I mean, it just takes a little bit more extra effort for a human, I suppose, versus an animal. But once
Mm,
you get in tune with how you can learn how to figure out or decipher humans, it probably
yeah.
becomes a little bit easier as time goes on. Is that
Yeah.
is that what I'm gathering?
Well, yes, with me now it's automatic. I don't really have to think, okay, I go through the motions of what I do, I put my hands on for the healing and the words that I use, etc. But I don't actually have to concentrate. It's automatic. It's like because I've been doing it so long, um, I'm tuned in the whole time.
Right.
So very rarely am I disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to put my hands on somebody and talk to somebody else at the same time. I mean, that can happen too. And very often at parties, we're chatting and a friend comes and says, oh, I've got such a sore shoulder and I've got a glass of wine in my hand and I'm chatting to somebody else. I'll put my hand on the other person on the shoulder and still chatting to the other one, and it works.
That's amazing. That's so awesome. So obviously this started when you were super little. Did you
Yeah.
do anything in particular to really enhance your skills besides practice, or did it just naturally evolve over time?
Yeah, for me, it just naturally evolved. Practice, well, I was doing it anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't a matter of thinking about practice. I just naturally helped everybody that needed help with healing by putting my hands on and saying, and just knowing, it's the knowing. I knew it would work. So
Mm-hmm.
I would just say, "Don't worry, you'll be fine." If I put my hand on your arm and it's painful, the pain will go, and I just knew it would.
I think that's one of the largest things that people have difficulties with is just believing in themselves that they know what's good for other people. It's
Yeah.
like their block of like not being able to really realize their own power. I mean,
Yes.
just knowing is, I think, 90% of the battle.
Yeah. And of course, if you go negative, you're going to block anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
you think, oh, I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It probably won't because there's a barrier.
Mm-hmm.
But if you consciously know and put the intention on that part where you're healing that person, saying it's fine, it will be fine, it's going to work, and I know it's working, and you don't even have to question it.
Right.
But it's when you start questioning, then it just doesn't work sometimes.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's all sort of the same thing. I mean, I always say it's like gravity. It just works. You don't doubt that you're not going to float off to the moon.
Yes, yeah.
It just works. If you just believe in yourself and believe in the process. And
yes.
I think the self-doubt, it will eventually, when you are working through the beginning stages of that, will disappear, because it's practice makes perfect, I guess. It's just seeing the things that you really believe in and you know that are working, and then it just kind of works itself out.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is too, we're working with energies, because everything is energy. So and it's like with law of attraction, if you're putting out to the universe through the energies an intention and knowing it's going to work, it will come back with the proof, and it does work. Yeah, but if you put a question mark on it as you're doing it, well, maybe it will, maybe it won't. No, it's not. You just got to be confident and know it does.
It's
positive.
I like the way that you said the law of attraction, that the proof, because it's so true. Like, it's the proof comes back. You just think it, and energy out there, and the proof comes back. It's almost like a frying pan to your face sometimes, because it's just like, holy crap, that's what I asked for, and it really did come back like that.
Yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
No, it's great. And I mean, I love doing the animals, because they talk to me.
Yes.
And human, of course, I love doing everybody. That's my mission. That's my life mission. But and it's so satisfying to know that you're helping somebody. I mean, whether it be mind or body, because people get screwed up in their mind more than they get screwed up in their bodies very often, and the mind screws up the body then, so to speak.
Yeah, totally. If it's not working in congruency, then something is off. So you got to fix the head to fix the body. You got to fix the body to fix the head.
Starts in the head.
Right. Absolutely.
Positive first. And the other thing with healing, because I give a lot of people tools, which I have in the book that you haven't read yet, but you will, is visualization, because visualization is a very powerful tool. Mm-hmm. And I use a lot of other energy modules with the work that I do, like EFT, the tapping on meridians. That's brilliant.
Love it.
And also re-imprinting. That's re-imprinting a trauma, a movie that you had in the past, which is traumatic. And then you change the energy field by re-imprinting a good one on top. This is shortcutting it a bit.
Yeah, totally.
And it's because everything that we've had in our lives stick in our energy field. So our energy field is beside us all the way through our lives, with these past traumas or anything, good things, bad things, but it's in our energy field. So if you have bad stuff in your energy field, it's going to be with you all your life. Mm-hmm. So if you have a trauma with it, and you need to get rid of that because you can't get the thoughts away or the feelings away, then you can go into that work, energy work, and re-imprint it with a good movie to take away the feeling, basically, and then whatever it is goes away. And that's like for phobias or fears or traumatic events that happen to you, like that.
I think that's so important too, because so many people have some sort of trauma that's stuck in their head that's blocking them from actually doing what their true calling is. So by being able to imprint or re-imprint, I think that's
And that's what the great thing is too. I do it with the animals, particularly my horses. I'll do tapping on them, and then I'll go into their head and find what the movie is, change the movie, and they allow it. You put the intention in. Well, I do a double thing here, really. And it's almost immediate with them. In fact, my horses, when I'm working on them, well, you can see them getting sleepy, and then they'll go down on the floor before I'm finished, and then I'll get down on the floor and finish them off. Not finish them off, but finish the healing.
I got you. What you meant.
Yeah.
Do you do EFT on animals?
Yes, yeah, that's what I was doing just now when I was saying, I did the
when you tap.
yeah.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Like, I don't.
Oh, it's great for animals. Yeah.
Like,
great.
It totally makes sense because I love tapping. I tap all the time.
Yes. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. Like I don't know why that never occurred to me.
Yes, and especially at the moment for November the 5th.
Yes.
Fireworks. They hate it. Tap on them.
Ah, gotcha.
You can tap behind the ears.
Is there any particular way that you would do animals differently to calm them before you start tapping on them, or do you just kind of let your energy
well, yeah, just talk to them, and sort of calm them down. But you can tap in the same sort of places as human, but particularly behind the ears, and you can sort of smooth the ears out, pull the ears out, stroke them, and that helps them on Guy Fawkes night as well. But tapping, but do it before the fireworks start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then if they get jittery while the fireworks are on, do it while the fireworks are going. Does help.
Good point. That's amazing. Well, Zoe, can you let everybody know where they can find you and about your book?
Sorry.
Can you let everybody know where they can find you?
Well, right now, you mean?
Well, I mean, like on the internet, how can they find
you? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, I will indeed. Yes, I will indeed, of course. Yeah.
So I will definitely be excited to read your book. I bought that a couple of days ago. As soon as I got the yes, I was like, okay, now I need to dive deep and find out how to your tips and tricks. So
yes, because through my book, I do teach everybody how to do everything I do.
Which is awesome and amazing and so giving. So I really appreciate your time and all of your knowledge. I think that I'm boggled right now about the EFT thing with animals, but I also think that I love what you're doing for the world. You travel all over, and I think that's huge to just be spreading your energy everywhere. So I really appreciate you.
Bless you. Thank you. Brilliant.